Hello Internet, Andrew Huang here again for LPX Studios. Just want to welcome you to another LPX vlog. Now today's episode is going to be a little bit different from my normal videos in that I'm going to spend today's episode to introduce myself to you guys so you guys can get to know me better and kind of, know who I am. Now I've been getting a few requests to do this video, and I've actually personally been wanting to do this video for a long time, and I was just kind of waiting for the right opportunity. And I think since we just passed 1,000 threshold, and more people are joining now, I think it's a good time for me to reintroduce myself to you guys properly. So, as I stated, my name is Andrew, and my last name is Huang. It's spelled H-W-A-N-G, but for those of you who cannot pronounce that, you can just say Wang, because I grew up with that, and it does not offend me anymore. It did when I was a kid, though, but it does not offend me. So what are my interests? Well, as you can see it with all the crap behind me, I'm a nerd, alright? I'm proud to admit it. I'm a geek, I'm a nerd, I'm a techie, I'm a gamer, I'm an otaku because I'm into anime. I build gunpla because I build model kits. I love I love everything. I'm a nerd. I mean, I'm more than happy to say that. And I'm pretty much guessing most of you out there are nerds as well too, because you're liking my channel for some reason. One of you actually requested to let me show you guys my collection here. Now before I show it to you guys, one little quick backstory about myself is I used to be engaged. I mean, yes, I used to be engaged with the wrong person. Because as you see here, there's about 4 shelves worth of stuff here. But my collection used to be about 10 times bigger. And I pretty much sold every single piece of item I've ever had, and in order to get her the engagement ring. So for those guys out there, just want to quickly tell you guys, if a woman makes you sell all your personal precious belongings in order to get her something, you're in the wrong relationship, because this is your life here. To sell that for just a ring, I wish I knew better, but I didn't. But learn from my mistakes, folks. And those of you who are married, maybe you can sympathize, because my current girlfriend and fiance-to-be, because I will propose to her soon, she's the one that actually helped me rebuild my collection. So I was pretty much wiped down to like half the shelf at one point. And I eventually, little by little, I've grown it back a little bit, and she's been a great supporter. And she even told me herself, and this is why she's a keeper, guys, she's told me that if I sold any of my stuff to buy her ring, she would murder me. And she quite literally meant that. Alright, so let me give you a quick tour of my room, essentially, the office that I work in. Now, I do have to apologize, I just reorganized, so it's a little bit messy, but here's a quick tour of my office that I work in. Here we go. Alright, let me just flip it around. Here we go. As you can see, guys, this is the table where I do all my reviews, and there's the Oculus Rift DK2 and the Gear VR, which I am currently reviewing right now. My files, there's my printer, there's my workstation, guys, dual screen, there's a PS4 in the middle there, my stuff, my computer, and most importantly, the shelf. Let's go onto the shelf here. So on the bottom is the most messiest area. Like, this is where I just put all my Gundam boxes and the Lego boxes there. Yes, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I still kept some of the cards, don't judge me. Here's some of the Transformers I bought recently. These are pretty much the Creo figures. They're like Lego Transformers. I'm starting to rebuild my Gundam collection, so these are the 2 models I built right now. I'm currently working on another one. This is actually my girlfriend's Lego right here. She's actually starting a new Lego collection now. I might have to give her a shelf. I've had this thing since I was in 6th grade. My mom helped me get that, so that's actually quite valuable to me. But here's some other stuff. There's my headpiece for my Iron Man costume. This center shelf is actually dedicated to all the electronics that I have purchased for this channel. So obviously the Oculus Rifts, that's a VHS player thing. Then obviously everything you've seen here except for the computer pieces, I've pretty much made a review video on. I know it's not much, but hopefully this section will grow one day. And here is so for those of you who know what these things are, please comment down below. I would love to talk to you about if you are a fellow DBZ fan. And yes, there are video cassettes behind there as well. I don't know if you can see it. So they're layered up there.
But I was able to maintain my VHS collection. And yes, before you comment, I am missing a couple. Sad face. Thankfully, I was able to hold on to my Sega Genesis games. Pretty much these were the games that my dad bought me when I was a kid. So I definitely held on to them, guys. So that's a classic title right there. And by the way, yes, I used to cheat. There's some of the PS1 games that I started to purchase back little by little. I went to a local thrift shop and bought a couple of them. Here's some Super Nintendo games I held on to. Here we go. This is actually a strategy guide a friend of mine gave me. That's my original ones beat up, but for those of you who know what this game is, respect. And I started rebuilding my most valuable game collection. So for those of you who really know what this stuff is, I used to have a 9.5 grade sealed, I got it graded version of this. So for those of you who know what this is and know what that sealed version means, yes, I sold that too. So yeah. Don't marry the wrong person, people. But actually, this is my playable copy, and this one was actually given to me by a friend. So I really wanted to thank him. Understand? Those are my sealed copies of Kingdom Hearts. And come on, guys, Star Wars. You can't beat it. And this is the VHS version. This is the VHS version. I managed to hold on to that somehow. For those of you who know New Type. And if we come through here, that's my Kingdom Hearts standee that I got. I used to work at GameStop, so using my connection, I was able to get that before I left. Here's another some of the wall of pretty much my anime stuff. There's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, and yes, I do play StarCraft because I am Asian. Robotech. So there's that. I don't play World of Warcraft anymore, so don't judge me on that. Here's some of the classic consoles I was able to manage to hold on to. There you go, PlayStation Slim. And there's the Sega Genesis that the classic game console that I repurchased. And this is where I play, some of the 3D videos and the games on here. So, yeah, guys. So this is my office. Let me give you guys a better view of it. Yes, I play paintball, by the way. And yeah, you should guys know that. There's my new workspace. So I moved these shelves over here closer so I have a better background for you guys. But this is how I pretty much work every day. But what does the rest of the room look like? Well, if you look like this, so the shelves used to exist here, and I just kind of moved them forward like this. So sorry if it's a bad view, guys, but I just shortened the room a little bit. Here's some stuff that I used to cosplay with. I actually paintball on the side, so here's my paintball gear. That's actually my paintball mask right there. I used to ride a motorcycle, so I still held onto my motorcycle jacket, thankfully.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little quick tour of my room there. Well, a couple quick things about myself. First and foremost, I grew up in Pennsylvania in the United States. I'm pretty much second generation, so if you couldn't tell by my accent before, I know I look like this, but I am from America. And before the comments roll in, what ethnicity are you? I'm South Korean, all right? My parents were from South Korea, so no more bugging me about that. And as you guys saw from the tour of my room, I'm not into one particular thing. I'm into a variety of things, and I love everything dealing with video games, technology, and just fun stuff in general. I've had this love and joy ever since I was a kid because my dad would... he brought home one of the early Macintoshes, and he would always buy me toys and games, and I just loved playing with them. And as a kid, I actually enjoyed taking apart the old computers and putting it back together, and that's pretty much how I learned how certain technologies worked and stuff. So that's why I'm able to build my own computer, just because I just took one apart and was like, all right, well, I need to buy that, and that. Now, growing up, I've always wanted to do something with video games and just technology in general, but just following the social norms and just following the peer pressure. I originally went to school to learn medical practices, but quickly I found that wasn't for me, and I eventually went the business route, and that's pretty much what I stuck with the entire time. But during my travels abroad when I was in South Korea and Japan, I loved it over there, by the way, guys. So if you guys ever have a chance to visit those countries, go. I'm not being biased because I'm Asian, just because when I went there, I had a blast. And as a geek, I geeked out like crazy when I went to Japan and Korea. So it's definitely a worthwhile trip. But during my time out there, I realized they just have a completely different culture than we do. Some in positive ways and some in negative ways, but just the shopping culture in general and everything, I loved. And the experience that you get from their stores and environments. So when I came back to the States for school, I opened my own business. Actually, I'll put up a couple photos so you guys can see what I did. It was very ghetto. I was a poor kid, but I wanted to run my own video game slash tech store slash just hangout place, and I made it. And that was my part-time job for 2 years in college, and I absolutely loved it. I worked for GameStop on and off for 8 years, and I can just tell you guys right now, like, being able to run my own thing and do my own thing was awesome. It was very enjoyable. But after doing it for 2 years, after I graduated, I decided to just close the store down, and with the plans of just reopening it properly in the future with a proper budget. But ever since I left school and came back home, I picked up a different job. I moved jobs around here and there, went to a startup company, and just kind of, it fell through the cracks because I presented it to banks, I presented it to many people, and it just wouldn't work. And eventually it just kind of fell in the back shelf, and I focused on just daily life and working. A few years later, I eventually decided to go pursue my MBA because my life was kind of stuck at a certain point. I met the wrong girl, the girl I mentioned before, and so I went to go get my MBA, and I eventually landed in a mutual fund company, where I'm currently working right now. And I thought to myself that, all right, well, this is my life now. This is going to be my career path, and this is what I was going to do. It's actually ironic that a lot of you have commented saying that I should have done this channel long ago, and I wanted to. Back in 2012, I had the ambitions of starting a video game slash technology channel, but the ex pretty much prevented me from doing so because she pretty much convinced me that it was stupid, that I didn't have the personality that would work, and that no one would watch me. So 3 years later, I have 1,000 subscribers, so win. But seriously, guys, like I want to sincerely apologize first for not taking the leap of faith earlier. If I was in a better situation, I would have started this channel much sooner. But you know what? Better late than never. And I'm glad that I can have these moments that I've had with you guys in the last 2 months. And here's to more. Now, for those of you who have watched my video of me and my girlfriend giving my mom's dream car, yes, I still live with my parents. But before you go ahead and judge that why is a 26-year-old man still living with his parents, this is my choice. I've tried living on my own already. I've been out there, but I realized after breaking up with my fiance that I wasn't able to move out. Even though I saved up a bit of cash on the side to leave, pretty much my student debt, all the loans I've had, and just the expenses I had to just pretty much live on my own wasn't doable. So instead, I decided to give all the money that I saved up to my parents so I can move them out of the crappy apartment that they were in. And trust me, it was crappy. And to go buy a house. So hence why we're in the house that we're in. I did that because, number one, I realized that I wasn't in the situation to be out on my own comfortably and not have to worry my parents. And number two is they were in a situation that they couldn't get out of. Like they were living paycheck to paycheck and they couldn't get out. And with me helping them, I was able to just take them out of there. And why did I do that? A lot of other kids out there would prefer living on their own, just leaving and being free. But for me, I realized all the stuff that my parents went through because they had me when I was, when they were my age right now. And I just couldn't imagine having to raise me and then my little sister. For me, I'm just so thankful for them. And I realized all the sacrifices that they made. So I wanted to give back. And the fact that my current girlfriend, and yes, she's living here. She's actually right above me right now. She's in the room above me. And my parents let her in. I won't go over her situation, but she had a really rough family situation. And my family was kind enough to let her in. And they pretty much, now they already treat her like a daughter-in-law per se. And now they're the ones pushing me to marry her. But that's my case right now. So why did I decide to do this channel after all this time? Well, pretty much in the last year and a half or so, I've been pushing to try to start my business again. Similar to what I did before, but a lot different now. And before all of you go off and start saying, oh, he's just in it for the money and stuff. No, I'm not. Let me try to get my point straight here. For me is, I've run into a lot of investors who are willing to fund the business, but for a huge portion of it, and they want to own it because some of them either see the idea and some of them don't really get it, but they see the money potential. and they just want to jump on it, but they're all missing the point. And for me, even though it might take a while, I would prefer to open up the business on my own, maybe with the help of some people who who share the same passion. But the store I'm looking to do is pretty much what I'm doing here: build a community. I'll put it this way, guys. If I could do what I'm doing right now and also doing that store and still making the same money, not making any more, pretty much the same or less, I would prefer to do that. And it's because I enjoy this so much. Like, this has been my passion my entire life. This is why I enjoyed read. So this is why people call me crazy when they hear me say it. I miss being a GameStop manager or running my own small business in the crappy town that I was in during college. They think I'm crazy, but those were the most enjoyable times for me. Yes, they were the most stressful and the most exhausting, but I loved it. I loved talking with people. I loved not selling them things, but teaching people about things that they didn't know before, and pretty much becoming friends. Because to be honest, guys, like, not that I'm an attention whore or anything, but I'm just a very social person, and I enjoy helping other people out. So for me to start this channel was a really big feat, because I started this back in September, because that's when I went through a whole round of, I went through multiple trips. I went down to the south because I thought I found a potential investor to start the business, and I went through the remaining of my funds just to make that trip, and at the last minute they backed out. So I was kind of distraught, and then I thought, you know what, well, I've been wanting to do this channel for so long, might as well start it. And I pretty much had to ask my girlfriend, it's like, hey, do you mind if you help me finance this? Because I need a new computer, I need some equipment, and she agreed. And so this is why I started this channel. Now, it did start off as a game channel, so it pretty much, for her, she thought this might just be a way to distract me for a while. And so it was. Like, I did a couple games here and there, I experimented with some weekly news stuff, and eventually, after about 2 months, I just stopped doing it just because I didn't see the growth, or I couldn't fall into a rhythm of making these videos, and it was just a little bit difficult for me. So I kind of gave up on it for about a month. And then lo and behold, in November, I bought the Gear S, and I fell in love with it, because when I was at work, I would just talk on and on about this thing, trying to sell it to everyone. And my boss, he was pretty much saying, dude, you should make a video on that. Like, you've already sold me on it. Why don't you sell the people online on it? And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give that a shot. And when I went online, I was very intimidated, guys, because there's so many videos on the Gear S. There's so many other tech reviewers out there, and I was like, am I even gonna get 100 views on this video? But I did it anyway, and I launched it, and here we are. We're slowly growing now, and it's just been awesome, guys. And as you can probably tell, I've been getting more and more comfortable with my videos, because at first, if you look at my first Gear S video, I was very like, but I have been getting so much more comfortable with you guys, and this is just, it's been so great. And I'm actually working with my manager right now too. So even though I can't technically quit my job to do this full time, I'm working with him so I can get an adjusted schedule. So I can dedicate one day during the weekday to just record content for you guys, and then I'll edit them throughout the week and release them. I'll try to do daily videos. As you guys probably saw last week, I was releasing like 2 at a time, and that's when I was really motivated, but I was losing sleep. So this new schedule I'm trying to work out is so I can get proper sleep so I don't get sick, and release content frequently for you guys, as well as be able to answer your questions. So guys, I wanted to thank you. You are the reason why this channel exists. It really is, because as you've probably seen, most of my videos are reactive to what you guys are wanting. And I pretty much want to do that. This is a channel for you. Even though it's my flavor and my take on things, this channel is going to be dedicated to you, the community. So whatever videos you want to see, whatever reviews you want, let me know. You'll get it. I mean, nothing crazy. I don't want to be the Tom Green of the internet here. Now, I'm dating myself with that statement, but hopefully, guys, this channel will grow into something amazing in the future. Like I said in some of my other videos, I eventually want to start doing charity donations. because as the community grows, we can eventually start doing some like live events to start raising money for certain charities. And I'm all about that because growing up, ever since I was in middle school, I volunteered through Key Club, and even when I was in college through Alpha Phi Omega, which is a co-ed fraternity that does community service. And I've always volunteered my time every year. And hopefully some of you guys share that same passion with me. So, I mean, maybe not now because we're still a little small, but sometime in the future I might host a live event sometime to see if I can raise a small amount of cash for, let's say, the American Heart Association, or for the Red Cross, or some local charity that I found to be, very relative, and that maybe you might be interested in as well. So please look out for that. If that is something of your interest, please go ahead and comment down below on that, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about that. Maybe we can do something together. But guys, hopefully this channel will continue to grow. I have an ambitious goal of trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is, according to actually my Social Blade account, is going to be nearly impossible. They're saying that I will barely reach 7,000 by the end of the year, but fingers crossed, hopefully 100,000. Even if it doesn't come, or we never reach that high, I'm just glad that I'm even at this point, because this has been the push I needed to pursue my passion, to pretty much do my own thing and start it. So I'm in a new rounds of talks with a bunch of people to see if I can start the business out. And please don't get me wrong, even if the business happens, this channel is a big integral part of it. This folder, LPX Studios in front of it, the YouTube channel is in here. It's a huge part of it, so I will never forget you guys. Because the whole plan is wake up, the store opens in late in the afternoon, so in the mornings we'll be dedicated to videos and be dedicated to the community, and pretty much I want to make these stores a way for you to come and interact with me, and hopefully the team I will foster of similar people. I'll make sure to do that. But it's a way for you to come in and experience the stuff for yourself, because that's what the store is going to be. So I'm going to spill my beans a little bit. It's going to be a video game / technology restaurant, and then go for it. I don't care if you want to take that idea and run with it, because it's an idea that I wish more people in this country would adopt. And you come in and you get to experience the newest technology, the games, retro, whatnot. It's pretty much a store / cafe restaurant for geeks. All of this. And people like this. And that's what I want to do. So it's going to be mainly trying to foster community out there. So I'm not going to try to rip people off or anything like that. It's going to be solely you come in and get to learn what you need to learn. I would appreciate if you bought a drink and a small muffin, but that'll be it. That's the business guy in me talking. But that's what I want to do, guys. Eventually, I think the ultimate goal is to build the Disneyland equivalent for video games. So I want you to kind of sit on that. But that's my end game, which will probably never happen. But I must believe. You gotta dream to be able to attain a dream, right? Right? But guys, just thank you. I know this video probably dragged on a little bit, so I do apologize for the length, but hopefully you got to know a little bit about me. If you have any questions about me, I am more than happy to respond to you guys, to answer any questions, as well as if you need to, I will make another video. But guys, thanks for stopping by. As always, please go ahead and leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you liked or disliked this video, meaning you disliked me. So that's understandable, because a lot of people don't like me too. But if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below to join this ever-growing community that we're fostering here. And if I don't see you in the next video, thanks for stopping by, because even if you're actually watching this part of it, you watched the entire video, so thank you. I really do appreciate it. But hopefully, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
time.